up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SpeedSim. My name's Amy.
And I'm E-House.
And today we're going to have kind of like a sort of topic that we see every time when we go to Milsim Ops or any sort of larger events, is people overcumber themselves with gear for really no apparent reason. You don't really need a whole lot of gear to go out and play at a Milsim Op.
Yeah, this is something that's kind of a pet peeve of mine for kits in general, is when I feel like I see someone's kit and it's a lot of gear that doesn't actually carry that much stuff. Like, I see someone wear a plate carrier, a battle bell, a thigh rig, and an assault pack, and the amount of stuff they're actually carrying on them, or furthermore, the amount of stuff they're carrying on them that they're actually using, is not at all proportional to how much stuff they're wearing. And I feel like people have a tendency, and I speak from experience. You know, when I started, and even up until probably a few years ago, I would wear gear that was a whole lot of gear for not a whole lot of utility, and I felt like I was wearing too much and not getting enough out of it. I'll throw up a picture from me back in the day where I'm wearing like a full-size CRAS for no reason. The amount of stuff I was carrying on there is actually less than the amount of stuff I have on this table in front of me right now. So I actually put together an example kit of like carrying a lot. This kit I have in front of me would be like a heavy Milsim Op loadout. I would actually not use this kit probably for most games. I'll put up a picture of something that is more like what I would use. And this is a lot. This is 9 rifle magazines, 2 pistol magazines, extra ammo, food, water, all kinds of stuff. And this is just an example, though, of how much stuff is on here in a relatively small footprint when it's on your person. And number one priority for me with building any loadout, and Amy is definitely going to agree with this, is I want to carry everything I need, but not have it get in the way of movement and rifle and weapon manipulation and working with my team. But I also want it to all exist in a footprint that is comfortable to wear and that isn't gonna poke me or jab me unnaturally or anything like that. I want my loadout at all times to work for me and carry everything I need where I need it, but no more.
Right. I kind of have the same kind of mentality. I've realized down the road, I from the beginning, when I first started, I had a lot of gear. I had like 10 rifle mags and plus one with a gun. But I've realized I like my gear to work for me, not against me.
All right, so there's a few concepts to keep in mind, and I'll kind of go over those as I break down this example heavy kit. Concept number 1 for keeping your gear as light as possible: ditch plate carriers.
Especially for summertime. Especially. The last, the recent op that we just went to, it was 87, 86, something like that. It was really hot out, and everybody was wearing plate carriers.
And now all the people in Florida comment like, "That's cute, but shut up, it's hot for here."
It's hot for us. It's very humid. It was uncomfortable. Yeah. At least for them. I could see it. But for summertime, ditch the plate carriers. I know it's not tactical, but trust me, you're going to be a lot more cooler if you wear just a regular chest rig.
Yeah, I prefer chest rigs in general for airsoft use because they're lighter weight, because there's just less material on them. They're lower profile because they're not holding plates, which a lot of people wear plate carriers and then have no plates in them, to which I'm like, well, why didn't you just get a chest rig then? But regardless. But then the other thing with, having a chest rig versus plate carrier is just breathability. Because you don't have all that material on your person, because you don't have that thing compressing you, your body just breathes better. You are able to vent out your torso, which the more surface area you have open to the air and open to the breeze, the more surface area you have to ventilate your body heat. And you don't want a heat cat because that is just embarrassing, and we will make fun of you if you're on our team and you do that.
Because we preach water a lot on this team.
Yeah. But then the other thing with, so you've ditched the plate carrier. Now what? Well, you want to carry as much as possible, or as much as you need, in as small a footprint as possible. This is a bad example of that. This is a full-sized Eagle RRV. Now, I know Eagle RVs are relatively expensive and kind of hard to find. That's why I have this one, because it's kind of a cool collectible piece of gear. But, shut up, I'm a nerd, I know. But, with an RRV or anything like this is a relatively big chest rig. I actually preach something like the D3CR or any of the various, clones or inspired chest rigs that have come since. The Spirit of Systems, another great fucking choice. Then you have things like the ASGI micro chest rig, which you also own. So if you want tiny chest rigs, Amy's got experience with like all of them.
Yes, because I have a small body and I need things that fit me.
Yep. This is a larger chest rig that carries a lot, but even so, even this being a large chest rig, with the padding on the shoulder straps and with the way it sits, kind of tight to your body, this is still not going to restrict your body's ventilation, and this is still not going to restrict your movement. With this kind of setup, and a concept that I see a lot of people either ignore or not fully grasp, is the more you have on your legs, the harder it is to move. That is why I am not a big fan of either heavy battle belts or drop rig setups. I don't like those because I move a lot when I play. I run a lot, I crouch a lot, I do a lot of weird positioning. If I have stuff on my belt, it is at most 2 rifle mags, 2 pistol mags, a battle belt, or not a battle belt, excuse me, 2 rifle mags, 2 pistol mags, a dump pouch, and my handgun. I don't carry a lot of stuff on my belt. And the battle belt I use is very low profile. It's the Ronin Tactics. So you guys have seen it on video a lot. But when you get into then, I see guys run like 4 rifle mags and 2 or 3 pistol mags, plus a drop leg holster and a dump pouch and a medical pouch and a grenade pouch. And then I'm out in the front leading the charge, all 260 pounds of me, going way faster than everybody. I'm not that fast, I just have more freedom of movement. So that's kind of, I also say ditch the battle belt if you want to keep yourself light and carry what you need in a footprint that is more comfortable for long-term wear. Or if you're gonna run a battle belt, keep it light and keep it off your legs, keep it on your waist.
Keep it very small, nice and compact. Belt works great. For me, for the past op that we just went to, I just have a little speed belt for like competition shooting, and all I had on there literally was a dump pouch and my pistol holster.
Yeah, and it worked great.
And it's all I needed.
Yeah. I just had my 2 rifle mags. That was all I had. I have my pistol mags on my chest. So going into that concept, what do I have on this? The idea behind this was to carry a heavy loadout in a small footprint that kept my range of motion and my body completely free and well ventilated. Well, I have 2 pistol mags on taco pouches on the left side, very easy to draw from for reloads. I have my comms and a grenade. Pretty simple, good things to have on your chest if you're going to have them for a milsim game. Those are kind of necessary in many cases. I have 9 M4 mags in 3 mag pouches. Because what I did is I didn't just buy the standard double M4 pouches, I actually have Tactical Tailor Universal Magazine pouches on here. And these are more expensive than I know a lot of people are going to want to buy, but again, there are clones of these available, or there are pouches that use the same concept. And these will hold 3 M4 mags. So you can hold 9 M4 mags in just this tiny little amount of space, right on your chest. 9 mags. As opposed to what I see where people have 8 mags in 4 pouches. This is more mags and less space.
Or worse, they have them stacked up on top of each other and they kind of hang out like out to here.
Yeah. The fact that these are, tight, light, elastic side pouches keeps them all very low profile, but you have a lot of ammo here. Each of these mags is 150 rounds. So you have 9 times 150 rounds plus the one in your gun. And then if you want even more ammo in the same amount of space, you can use 190 round mid caps. So things to consider is that with that, you can optimize carrying the most ammo possible in the least amount of space possible. And that works phenomenally. Now I know people will say, well, these are closed top pouches, they're not particularly fast reload. You could combine this with a basic belt setup, have 1 speed reload rifle mag, and based on my experience, you usually don't need more than 1 real speed reload source. I think speed reloads are kind of overrated in how much people practice them versus how much they're actually useful. Then, pouches can carry more than one thing. Not everything needs its own dedicated pouch. One thing in here probably should have its own dedicated pouch, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. This is one utility pouch. This utility pouch is carrying 2 extra rifle batteries, a multi-tool, an Odin Innovation speed loader, and a trauma kit. Now, trauma kits probably should be in their own separate pouch if you actually want people to have quick access to it, or if you want to have quick access to it. I will usually keep this in a BDU pocket on my person by itself, or with other medical gear. But I put it in here as an example of, hey, you can stuff all this stuff in here. This could just as easily be like a broken down MRE, some snacks, anything like that. And what you see here is that in this tiny little amount of space, because I am intelligently using the features of a pouch, I'm using the features of an existing pouch as opposed to getting another pouch. And that is keeping this large amount of stuff, again, in the smallest profile possible. And that is just space efficiency. That is how you pack efficiently. And people don't seem to pack efficiently with their loadouts a lot of the time. And that's what we're trying to get you to think about is, okay, how can I consolidate things? Then, speaking of consolidation, I have no need for a belt with this setup because I actually have a pistol holster in my mat pouch right here. And even if I took the pistol holster out, this whole thing is a giant map pouch. So if you want to carry maps or anything, that's all right in here. And that is also just as easily sealed off and kept low profile for if you want to ditch the handgun or put the handgun on your belt. So if you did theoretically want to combine this with some kind of belt setup, combine it with a holster for your handgun, a speed reload source for your rifle, and a dump pouch. And what you have there is a ton of stuff really intelligently put together that doesn't take up a ton of space comparative to how much stuff it is, or at least comparative to how much space it could take up. Because I've seen people with large setups, again, I'll throw my own picture up here, that carry less intelligently than this.
And that map pouch can be combined with other things as well, not just maps. Again, using those pouches for other dedicated things.
Yeah, and not everything needs its own pouch. Put stuff in your pants pockets.
Yeah.
Put stuff in your assault pack, which is something else I want to bring up. Assault packs and the underuse or misuse of them. An assault pack is your best friend for carrying stuff you don't want super quick access to, but that you want to have access to. And if you pack your assault pack smart and combine it with a smartly packed vest, this and this would be everything you need short of camping gear for like a 24-hour game.
Or Milsim. Or Milsim West.
Yeah. Because in here, I have water, which is just one bottle of water, but I can fit more in here, ammo, my night vision, a rain jacket, and a broken down MRE, which is something else I want to mention. When you go to a Milsim game, and if you're carrying MREs on you, break them down. Because if you break down an MRE, take out the stuff you're not going to use. Who's going to use those beverage mixes? Nobody likes those beverage mixes. They're fucking horrible. Take those out, because that's just wasted space. Only bring a couple of MRE heaters, as opposed to bringing all 5 of them that come with whatever number of MREs you've got. Do stuff that helps you to compress things down and pack intelligently. Because all of that is going to make your experience better because you're carrying less bulk and less weight. So that was an example, relatively extreme, of a very heavy loadout, all things considered, in terms of what's here versus, how much relatively space it takes up in your body. To a lot of people, I'm sure this sounds like we're treading old ground. I'm sure this sounds like we're stating the obvious, but we see enough that people don't think about these things that we figured we would put it on video. What do you got to say?
So I just want to go over the thing that I used this past weekend at Mir.
Which is a much more reasonable example.
This is more like overnight.
Yeah.
You're not really going back to your campground and having a good time. This is just like a one-day setup that I used for the Mir Tactical Syndicate Directive that we just went to.
Yep.
And this is just, just a one-day op type of deal. You're only playing for like 7-8 hours, and then you're going back to your campground, and the next day you can load back up. So what I have on here, I was running the MP7, so I have my 7 MP7 mags on here, my 2 AEP Glock mags, and then what I'm missing is my expander wings, although over the weekend I figured those weren't too practical, so I bought a flat pack just so I can carry more water in a better space, and this was hurting me. Is going to my ribs something to consider if you get an expander wings. I wouldn't necessarily recommend them unless you wear them on top of like a plate carrier, which we're trying not to say.
Yeah.
So that's what I have on here. On the bottom, I have a dangler, and in my dangler, all I had was 3 grenades. What else do I have in here? I had batteries, and I also had a speed loader for the pistol mags, because the Odin speed loader that I had with me doesn't work on the AEP mags, so I had to grab myself a little small speed loader in order to put in there, just so I can reload them when we're going back to a respawn. And then I had my purple belt, because reasons.
Because purple.
Because purple. So I had my pistol holster on here and my dump pouch. That's all I needed on there. In my dump pouch, I was carrying my Odin speed loader because I had a lot of grenades in here and it took up more space than I thought it was going to take up. So I put my Odin speed loader in here and it actually worked pretty well. I didn't need to use my dump pouch as much as I thought I was gonna use, because it is a bigger game, so there's not much shooting going on. So I mean, I put like 3 or 4 MP7 mags plus on top of the Glock mags, and it worked great. So this was more like a simple one-day off type of deal. Very small, very compact, and for comparison, this is just a spear rig. Very small, perfect for those people who have smaller bodies.
If we compare, is almost the same size as just these 3 M4 mag pouches.
I mean, it's great. You can switch these around. We've talked multiple times on this Spirit chest rig. We put a link in the description down below for the review of these. But this is great, actually, if you're just trying to do a one-day op and not carry a whole plate carrier. These are actually really cool.
Yeah. So I think Amy's kit is a perfect example of only carrying what you need in a very smart footprint.
Yes.
So I think those are, One more thing I want to go over real quick. Quick pet peeve of mine. Helmets. And the overloading of helmets.
Yes.
I see a lot of people wear helmets and put a lot of stuff on their helmets. And at a certain point, I wonder how much of a purpose a lot of that stuff serves. Like if you have a GoPro or a Contour or a Mohawk, like obviously you're recording. But then you have like a Milsim West GoPro pouch.
I'm going to stop you right there.
What?
You can run GoPros without a helmet.
Yes,
it's
but
very possible.
Yes, but I am saying that like if you have that on your helmet, obviously that has a purpose.
Right.
Then you might run like a battery pouch, and okay, that has a purpose.
Correct.
But then the only other thing I have on my helmet personally is this little light that I can use for reading maps in the dark. It's just a little Princeton Tech light. And I also have a retention system for my night vision that is very small, not much of a snag hazard, not much weight to it. So I see helmets that have more stuff on here than this, and I'm like, this helmet setup has gotten me through a lot of games, and a couple of games where I've used my night vision. So I'm like, how much more stuff do you really need? Maybe
on a helmet,
should...
not really.
Yeah, I get that it looks cool to have a helmet with like all that stuff, but looking cool and having to wear it for 40 hours possibly.
Neck strains.
Yeah, like you need to, as the tactical wizard said, be sure to overload your helmet so you have perfectly even neck strain. Yeah. So don't do that. Just be smart about what you're putting on. Make sure everything has a purpose. And that applies to the whole loadout. Anything that you're putting on your body should have a real purpose. And if it's a theoretical purpose, it should be a theoretical purpose that like, hey, let's say someone gets really badly injured, I will definitely want to have that trauma kit, not what if I get hungry in an hour on the field, I better carry a full MRE. Like, dude, put a protein bar in there, okay?
One thing I want to mention is if you are having kind of a struggle putting this stuff together when you are going to like a bigger op or even a 2-day op and you have to spend overnight, I would take most of the thing, I would go to like your 1-day field just for a quick skirmish and just figure out if it works or not.
Yep.
Because at home, standing in front of your mirror and seeing if things work doesn't really help you too much. Go out, go to a skirmish for a day, and then kind of figure out whether or not it works.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a really hard time exactly putting things where it needs to, and you don't know if it's going to work, just go to your skirmish real quick, and then you can come back and figure out things how you want to do it. Obviously, don't wear your entire like 2-day loadout all through the
like
field.
your ruck. Like obviously, you're probably not planning on fighting with your ruck much, but everything short of your ruck.
Yeah, and just go into your skirmish and just try it out and see if it works or not.
And that is actually standard practice for gun gamers. Is if we're building a kit for a specific game, like a Milsim West game, we'll go out for a full day at River City. and use that kit for the full day, running hard at the local, basically, SpeedSoft field, wearing our full MilSim kit, and if it doesn't work here when we're trying to fight, if it doesn't work here when we're trying to fight, then what makes us think it's going to work when we get out and it's been 30 hours and we're sleep deprived? So, be smart.
Also, if you're trying to figure out whether or not your ruck is going to work for the specific MilSim op that you're going to, you always go hiking with it and see if it works. Because I know that's the standard practice with us too.
Yep. So go hiking with your ruck and then go play with your kit.
Exactly. All right, guys. Hope this helps. I know we're kind of stating the obvious here, but we hope that it somehow helps you in the long run in trying to figure out what exactly you need and don't need when you go into a MilSim op. Once again, my name is Amy.
And I'm E-House.
And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Sounds great.
Look at this. I have so many mags. I have so much stuff all over my body. But I can look at how much freedom of movement I have. I can fucking go urban prone and shit.
Thank you for watching this video from Gun Gamers. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. Check the description below if you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a patch, and use the coupon code JUDY10 for 10% off of your next order at Amped Airsoft. Thank you again for watching, and praise Judy. I love how there's just a mountain of fucking gear on my side.
I feel like you packed for MilSim West.
This would actually probably be a fairly decent MilSim West kit. I would not pack this many mags.
Not 9.
No. But I've seen this would actually be reasonable for MilSim West. I would wear this for 40 hours.
Yeah,
this wouldn't be bad.
Comfortable.
No, I mean it's padded well. It's well thought out. The helmet I would probably end up leaving at my ruck a lot. I did that at Ballcar, but
well, it's only for night. It's only really useful in night games.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean night vision is really what the helmet is for. I don't fucking use it for most shit.
I'm glad that's recording.
Yeah, it is recording now. So now we're just. I feel bad though. It's covering up my Signs of the Swarm shirt.
It's okay.
I'm trying to rep my bros from Pittsburgh. The Signs of the Swarm bros.
I understand, but you have a mountain of gear.
I do have a mountain of gear right in the fucking way. The actual subject of this video.
Exactly.